John D. Rockefeller's story begins in modest circumstances. Born in 1839, he grew up in rural New York. His father was a traveling salesman known for his charisma and questionable ethics. His mother, a devout Baptist, instilled in young John a strong work ethic and religious faith. Even as a boy, Rockefeller showed a knack for business. He raised turkeys, sold candy, and took on odd jobs. He meticulously recorded every transaction in a small ledger, showing an early interest in accounting and finance. These early experiences fostered in him a drive to succeed and a keen understanding of the power of money. At age 16, Rockefeller moved to Cleveland, Ohio to seek his fortune. He landed a bookkeeping job at a produce commission firm. He quickly impressed his employers with his diligence and attention to detail. He worked long hours, always seeking ways to improve efficiency and maximize profits. His ambition was evident. This was a young man determined to make his mark. The discovery of oil in Pennsylvania in 1859 ignited a boom. Rockefeller, always alert to new opportunities, saw the potential of this new industry. In 1863, he invested in a small oil refinery in Cleveland. The oil business was chaotic and volatile, but Rockefeller thrived in this environment. He brought order and efficiency to his refinery. He negotiated favorable shipping rates with railroads, giving him a crucial edge over competitors. He also invested heavily in research, constantly seeking ways to improve the refining process and reduce costs. His relentless focus on efficiency and cost-cutting would become hallmarks of his business strategy. Rockefeller's first oil venture was a success. He quickly expanded his operations, buying out his partners and consolidating his control. He formed a new partnership with Henry Flagler, an ambitious businessman who shared his vision. Together, they set their sights on dominating the burgeoning oil industry. Their company, Standard Oil, would soon become a household name. Rockefeller and Flagler embarked on an aggressive strategy of expansion. They believed that controlling the refining process was key to controlling the entire industry. They ruthlessly bought out or drove out competitors, using their growing power to secure favorable deals with railroads and suppliers. Standard Oil's methods were often ruthless. Rockefeller was not afraid to use his company's size and influence to crush his opponents. He engaged in predatory pricing, temporarily lowering prices to drive competitors out of business. He also used his leverage over railroads to gain access to competitors' shipping information, giving him a strategic advantage. By the 1870s, Standard Oil had become a behemoth. It controlled the vast majority of oil refining in the United States. Rockefeller's wealth soared, making him one of the richest men in the country. His company's grip on the industry seemed unbreakable. Standard Oil's dominance did not go unnoticed. Critics accused Rockefeller of using unfair tactics to stifle competition and create a monopoly. Journalists and politicians began to investigate the company's practices, exposing its ruthless methods to the public. Rockefeller, however, remained unapologetic. He argued that his methods were simply smart business and that Standard Oil's success benefited consumers by providing them with high-quality products at low prices. He believed in the efficiency of large corporations and saw himself as a captain of industry, guiding the market towards greater efficiency. Despite growing public scrutiny, Standard Oil continued to expand its reach. Rockefeller diversified his holdings, investing in railroads, mining, and other industries. He built a vast network of pipelines, further consolidating his control over the flow of oil. His empire seemed unstoppable. By the turn of the century, public outrage against Standard Oil had reached a fever pitch. The company had become a symbol of corporate greed and unchecked power. Ida Tarbell, a muckraking journalist, published a series of articles exposing Standard Oil's unethical practices, further inflaming public opinion. In 1904, the Supreme Court ruled that the Northern Securities Company, a railroad holding company in which Rockefeller was a major investor, violated antitrust laws. This decision set the stage for a landmark case against Standard Oil itself. In 1911, the Supreme Court ruled that Standard Oil was an illegal monopoly and ordered its breakup. The company was divided into 34 smaller companies, including Exxon, Mobil, and Chevron. Although the ruling marked a major defeat for Rockefeller, his personal wealth continued to grow due to his diversified holdings. Despite the breakup of his empire, Rockefeller remained a shrewd businessman. He recognized the growing importance of the automobile and the increasing demand for gasoline. He invested heavily in refineries that could process crude oil into gasoline, ensuring his continued relevance in the evolving energy sector. Rockefeller also understood the importance of public image. He began to devote more of his time and fortune to philanthropy. He donated millions of dollars to education, medicine, and scientific research. He established the Rockefeller Foundation, which would go on to make significant contributions to public health and development around the world. This shift towards philanthropy was partly motivated by a desire to improve his legacy. Rockefeller had been demonized in the press as a ruthless robber baron. He now sought to be remembered for his generosity and contributions to society. Rockefeller's philanthropy was informed by his deeply held religious beliefs. He was a devout Baptist who believed in the concept of stewardship, the idea that wealth should be used responsibly for the benefit of others. He articulated his philosophy in his essay, The Gospel of Wealth, in which he argued that the wealthy had a moral obligation to use their fortunes for the betterment of humanity. Rockefeller's charitable giving was vast and wide-ranging. He funded the creation of the University of Chicago, Spelman College, and the Rockefeller Institute for Medical Research. He supported efforts to eradicate hookworm and yellow fever. He also donated generously to his church and other religious causes. While some critics viewed his philanthropy as an attempt to atone for his past sins, there is no doubt that Rockefeller's generosity had a lasting impact on the world. His donations helped to advance education, science, and public health, leaving an indelible mark on countless lives. John D. Rockefeller died in 1937 at the age of 97. He left behind a complex and contradictory legacy. He was a brilliant businessman who revolutionized the oil industry and helped to shape the modern economy. He was also a ruthless competitor who used questionable tactics to crush his rivals and build a monopoly. Rockefeller's philanthropy, while undoubtedly impactful, cannot erase the damage caused by his business practices. His legacy continues to be debated by historians and economists. He was a product of his time, an era of unfettered capitalism and rapid industrialization. John D. Rockefeller's story is a reminder that progress often comes at a cost. It is a story about ambition, innovation, and the complex relationship between wealth, power, and social responsibility. It is a story that continues to resonate today as we grapple with the challenges of corporate power and the role of business in society.